Hello and welcome back everyone to Last Level Press. I am Mr. Black, and once again, I come bearing great news. The campaign to push Salt through Steam Early Access was a resounding success, and the game is now available on Steam Early Access for its usual retail price of $15 plus a free demo for anyone with questions remaining, even after seeing all of the coverage that I've provided for this game as to whether or not it is worth their time, because demos are always great to get a hands-on look, and I really encourage anybody who has either never come across this game before, and this may well be your first experience with it, or who has seen my coverage of the game thus far and still kinda wants to see, well, is it fun for me? Go try the demo. I just about guarantee you will be impressed. Now, all that said, massive congratulations to the team at Lava Boots for getting this game onto Steam. I know that will provide a great deal of additional visibility for the project, and I wish them all the best of luck in just getting the very most out of the early access process. I know there's a great deal of criticism to be levied at the way that Steam handles its early access curation. I know Total Biscuit has covered that in rather expansive detail before, and I myself have commented upon it, but I do believe that despite some of the misgivings that I've had with others' projects to be hosted on early access, that there is more good than bad to be had if one is selective about the titles that one decides to buy to participate in as what amounts to an early access tester of sorts, even though you're paying for a product. And all I've really got to wrap that thought is to say that if you're ever wondering about any early access title that is available on Steam right now, you've got the strongest recommendation of just about any other early access title that I can think of to go and give this one a try if you've never done any others. And no, for anyone who may be cynical and wondering, I am not on the Lava Boots payroll. I just absolutely adore this project and cannot give it enough praise due to the fact that this genre, I know I'm just sitting here on this menu and talking, but I've got a little bit to say before I jump into this episode, is one that brings a lot of new life to the open world survival genre. I know in the first episode there were of course going to be a number of people who, like myself, were skeptical of the idea of this project when it was described as yet another open world survival based game with crafting, and it's procedurally generated, the world is infinite. Okay, we've all heard this a million times, and yet this game actually manages to do something unique with that concept and to be both relaxing, which is something that very few games can really claim the trait of, and incredibly entertaining. There's a sense of awe and scope and discovery in Salt that I've almost never come across in any other game, and it really deserves a mention. Now, on to coverage of the Steam launch version of the game. I do recognize that the game has updated, I believe, twice since my last episode. I did check the game briefly a little bit ago to make sure that it did not, in the new updates, invalidate my old save file. Thankfully, oh great gaming gods, it did not, so I can resume exactly where I left off. As for new features, I know there are a number of balance tweaks in the changelog. Other than that, it does look as though the options have been expanded a little bit. You can turn on the old version of the water graphics, and I don't know if that extends into the physics, but at least the appearance of the water if you so wish. And what I mean by that, go back and check my first couple of episodes of this series. The water looks very different. I personally prefer the new version, but the option is there for those who might want to use the old, somewhat more, what's the word I'm kind of looking for here? Like Zelda Wind Waker. It looks more illustrated than rendered. As for some of these other options, I'm not entirely sure what forward rendering is. I may be just displaying my own ignorance there. Sunshaft's Bloom and HDR are also available, and shadows can be enabled or disabled, as well as shadow resolution. And unfortunately, that's kind of it. There are resolution options available within the Unity Engine launcher that the game actually still launches from. And I'm not sure whether or not one can access that via the Steam-launched version of the game. I have not yet tied my product key from the independent Salt launcher to my Steam account, so I may note how that process goes in future episodes, but for now I've not yet done so. Anyway, let me finally dispense with the yammering, and of course sound and gameplay volume options are still a bit spartan, but once again, the game is of course still in early access, not a finished title, so that may get added in later on. Let me now click continue and resume where I was. And I have a little confession to make. I may or may not have actually just spent the last half hour or so attempting to record this particular segment of this particular episode and running my ship aground again and again and again and again and again in that little cove that I had kind of dropped anchor in before. It didn't really go so well. I am not going to get through this little sandbar, am I? Nope. No, I am not. That is entirely too shallow. Oh, no. No, no, no. Don't capsize. Don't capsize. Whoa! Whoa! What the hell just happened? I kinda pushed the ship, and it did maritime gymnastics. Have I just destroyed my ship? Is that a thing I just did? Oh yeah, I'm the best sailor. And I've also got one little other bit of news, one which I kinda neglected to touch upon in the last couple of episodes, but no, I have not forgotten. I asked you all for suggestions to name our glorious vessel, and she shall be so dubbed the Royal Fortune, after one of you reminded me that such was the name of my favorite pirate of all time, the dread pirate Black Bartholomew Roberts. Oh yes, the name fits, doesn't it? I mean, Black Bart Roberts, the dread pirate Roberts, and I'm Mr. Black. I mean, the whole thing just fits. So, the Royal Fortune she shall be. And it is upon our grand and illustrious vessel that we shall first, I think before I decide to, in our objectives for this episode, experiment a bit with the functions of the fishing mechanic, as I did acquire a fishing pole in the last episode, and have not even tried a little bit of that particular mechanic at all yet, as well as right now, let's see here, C for crafting, experimenting a bit with all of this moon rock that I have come upon. I know one can craft things with it, and I've tried before with no success, but okay, so just wood and moon rock does basically nothing. Can I make anything out of pure moon rock? No. What if I add some flintstone to it? No. Deer pelts maybe. Let's get rid of those. Maybe I can make like armor out of it? With leather and moonstone? No. What about normal stone? No. Okay. I have no idea. I really have no idea what I can do with moonstone. I do seem to recall coming across a couple of screenshots of this game with what looked like a blue sword somewhere, which I'm very strongly guessing is a moonrock sword, but I don't know for certain. And I don't believe any of the books that I've got detail any of the crafting recipes that utilize moonrock. So, no, that's a sextant. Oh, I'm still in the crafting menu. Yeah, no wonder. Let's see. Second look here. Book, compass, sextant, flag marker, tripwire, healing potions, bamboo fishing pole, and that's it. So, yeah, I've got no means of knowing just yet. I'm assuming they're going to be in other tomes and books to be discovered throughout the game, any of the recipes. So, now that we know, I am far too dumb to experiment with that on my own. Let's equip our fishing rod. There we go. And see what we can do. I assume I may also need to equip a fishing lure? Yeah, there we go. So I think now I can just cast? Alright! I like that! It reminds me a bit of the fishing in Minecraft. Now what I don't know is exactly how to use this thing. I'm guessing, like Minecraft, I'll have to keep an eye on the bobber and click again to reel in once I get a bite. I like the fact that I can actually cast from my ship. like, that allows for sustainability, food-wise, of making long voyages. A concern that I was starting to have of the constant need to go inland and secure food. Am I ever going to get a bite? Maybe? One of these days? Apparently this is a bit more like real fishing than I was anticipating. Which is to say, you can spend hours and hours and hours waiting on a bite! There we go! Caught smallmouth sea bass. Ha-ha! Alright, let's have a look at her. Is she a keeper? Do I have to throw it back? Am I violating any regulations? Where'd it go? Seriously, where did it go? Is it in here and I just can't see it? Is that it? That's ironite ore. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's in the same tab as the food. Smallmouth sea bass, 1/2 pound, small but delicious. And it restores 50 food. Well, let's eat some sushi, because I do need food. That actually didn't do a whole lot. Alright, I guess I'll have to eat some more deer meat. There we go. Let's restore a bit more of that lovely, lovely hunger. And now that we've played around with that, what do you think? Should we do one more cast? I think one more cast. And then we'll set sail on a new adventure. And go who knows where. I do know, after glancing at the dev notes from the previous update, that there are in fact... Whoa, whoa, got a little twitch. That's one of those little, like, fake out bites. Oh, there it goes again. Any good fisherman knows the little hits you don't strike at. No, you wait for it to really embed that hook and then reel hard. Don't let yourself get juked out by the head games that the fish will play. Don't you just love how intense fishermen get about their craft? Like, they will read incredibly complex psychological tales into the casting of a single fishing line. And due to the fact that I've got some rather hardcore fishermen in my family and I was taught their ways as a young lad, I kinda buy into some of their same superstitions. No, you gotta wait. You gotta wait for the proper moment. Anyway, after checking the dev notes, I know that there are boss fights in this game, as well as named pirate captains and pirate lords. So I kinda wonder where they are, whether or not they may be roaming, sailing random encounters, or whether or not they are based on just randomly distributed islands. I kinda wanna go find one, even though I rather strongly suspect I may get decimated if I go and fight them. But, you know, nothing risked, nothing gained. And so we shall set sail. Take what you can, give nothing back. And it would seem we've got a fair number of options. And it's been so long, I'm not completely sure in my recollection of exactly where I've been, although I do know that I was more or less island hopping Polynesian style before, and going from adjacent isle to adjacent isle, more or less avoiding the open sea as much as possible, considering that until I refurbished the Royal Fortune here, I was left with either my own poor little doggy paddling self, or a wee small raft to navigate the vast expanses of sea connecting these islands. Well, now we've got a great vessel, which is also rather speedy. I mean, look at this. We are moving. I don't know how many knots this would be, or even exactly how quickly a knot is. I've never known, even though my grandpa, who was a sailor and served on the carrier Midway, has tried to explain it to me before. I'm just me and the maths, the numbers and I. We do not get along near so well. We like pirates and East Indian officials. We're just incompatible. Oil and water we are. However, I do know that any island that is not adjacent to those I've been on, I've obviously never been to before. Which is why I've now set sail for this island in the very far distance. I asked for that horizon, and so shall I receive. Oh, okay, alright. never mind. I thought that was a rather large island really far away. No, it's actually a rather close-by island that just happens to be rather small. Ain't perspective fun, kids? Alright, let's wrap sail. I've still not received any word of clarification as to whether or not I'm using my nautical terminology correctly in that regard, but oh well, I'm sure one of these days it surely will, especially now that the game is on Steam and will hopefully get a little bit more in the way of attention. And thus, by contrast, as the, not by contrast, but on the same token, as the symbiotic relationship between game developers and those who cover said games like myself develops, oh, I see pirates, I may well garner a few new viewers out of this as well. Let's see, I don't think there's really a lot on that island for me, but I did wrap sail, right? Yes, okay. I've got to make that a hard and fast habit to never jump overboard unless I am 110% certain that I have wrapped sail, because I would just be so heartbroken to watch my own ship sail away without me. I really would feel like Jack after that. Jack Sparrow, not Jacksepticeye, for once. Let's see here. Have at thee, sir. You don't seem at all happy to see me. Whoop, shoot, blocked. Block again, whack. You are so out of your game. I've been playing Skyrim and Oblivion lately. The right-click, left-click swordplay. We are on point right now. Get it? Get it? Point? Hey. Hey. Okay. Larry, you've just gotta follow me everywhere I go, don't you? You just can't let me have anything on my own. You have to be able to say, I was there too. He's that guy. Larry is that friend that just won't let you have any personal accomplishment. He's always got to remind you that, well, you know, I did the hard part. God damn it, Larry. No one likes that guy. You're that guy when it comes to doing group projects. Oh, I see how it is, Larry. You've got a little friend over here, too. I see. So Barry is your Larry. I see what it is. I see. You're simply projecting your own issues that you've got with your brother onto me. That's how this is, Larry. No. I won't hear any accusations that I may be projecting onto you. That's heresy, Larry. And heresy cannot go unpunished. You're going to have to learn. Your master is here, and he does not take kindly to such... You see, even Barry knows. Barry's the wise brother out of this particular family. You just had to die, Larry. Again, you had to die. Because, whoa, you've got a lot. Oh, deer guts, okay, that's new. Can be used as fishing bait, although there is a 50% consumption chance. So apparently, kind of like loose guts actually would be, it's rather easy to just slide off the hook if a fish comes up and nibbles on it. Okay, I got my arrow back, antlers, pelts, pristine deer meat. Good! You were a wholesome Larry! Alright then. I'll have to turn you into some delicioso venison sausage. And unfortunately, it would seem that my hunch was quite correct in that there's not a lot here. What is that? Oh, that's the mast of my own ship in the distance. Like, what is that? That doesn't look natural or organic. Okie dokie. I should also note that I've been informed by a number of you who have played this game more than I have that I am not mistaken in my belief that there is a great deal more to this game that I've not yet reached. There are a great deal more in the way of items like my Ring of the Night, whose functions nobody really seems to be completely sure of, and the devs have not clarified it for me yet. But there are a lot more things in this that I've never even seen head nor hide of yet, and that really excites me. I like the fact that this game doesn't just give you all of its toys right away and say, well, this is what you got, okay, have fun with that. It continues to lead one on into discovery. There's always that sense of, I can still go and find something new, something else, and I love that about it. So like I said, if anybody has got any question as to whether or not this game is in a buyable state right now, despite the fact that it is in early access, and there is a usual question of, well, do I want to buy this game right now, or should I wait until it's done, which I question the validity of the claim that some early access titles ever will be. However, that is a discussion for another time. This game, however, could easily be justifiably purchased right now, despite the fact that it is an early access, due to the sheer amount of content already present within the game and the amount of entertainment that it delivers in its state right now. That is the point that I really tried to articulate in my introduction to this video, and kind of got really wordy about and couldn't nail down exactly my thoughts on the matter, but now that I have, I would like to reiterate that Salt is absolutely worth your time and money if you are a fan of rather open-ended, well, not rather, completely open-ended, survival game plus maritime experiences. It is absolutely one of my favorite titles of probably the last 5 years in its attempt to do something that no one else really has, other than, say, to degrees of aspects of the game, Zelda the Wind Waker and Minecraft. And this takes some of my favorite aspects of both of those titles and combines them into a new and unique one. Like this? Why does that music sound really ominous? Is Poseidon about to smite me for having the audacity to sail out into truly open water? I did this on purpose, mind you. There are no islands on the horizon, only waves. And the swells are getting bigger. I know that music is probably meant to be serene and relaxing, but it's not. I don't know why, but I'm kinda getting like that ominous Devil May Cry vibe off of the soundtrack right now. I kinda wonder if sailing off into the blue, as it were, prompts that, or whether or not I am reaching the edge of the game world. Is Calypso gonna pop out of the ocean? Come feed me to a kraken? Oh look, an island! Good! Okay then. Are we about to go and find some Aztec gold? The island you can only find if you're lost? That'd be really cool. I mean, sans the whole getting turned into an undead monstrosity thing. That would be rather unfortunate. But if I get an undead monkey, it's all worthwhile. Right? Right? Undead monkeys make everything better. Okay, is my torch getting weaker? I really feel like it's getting weaker. Because I can barely even make out the features of my own bridge right now. And that island is rather huge. Like, really huge. Okay. I dare say I may have to drop anchor on the coast of this island. And, oh great, my torch is burned out. I really do think that the torches get weaker as they reach the end of their respective lifespans, as it were. There we go. Yeah, because this one is much brighter. Really, really bright. Okay. Now let's get up alongside the island. I'm not going to ram the beach, as it were, like I did the last time. And then, like I said, kinda had to spend an embarrassingly long time getting my vessel unbeached. Oh. Oh my. This is going to be quite an adventure. I can just tell. I don't know why, but my adventure sense is tingling. I get the feeling I'm going to both love and hate this island. Couldn't tell you why. Just calling it now. So, I'm going to wrap this particular episode here. This has been Salt, ladies and gentlemen. I would compel you to go and vote for this game on Steam Greenlight, but once again, the game is now on Steam Early Access for $15. I can absolutely recommend it. There is also a free demo for those who would like to give it a shot for themselves. I am Mr. Black here at Last Level Press, and as always, I wish you all good gaming and Godspeed. This is either going to be very fortuitous or a ginormic mistake. A rather crowded area. Yeah, there are zombies about. Lots of them. And are those zombie mounties? Bring me that horizon.